Guys, up to this session we are discuss basic theory which is related to electric field. Now in today's session we are going to discuss about some example based on electric field. Okay, let's start with the first one. So example number 1. Let's see, a water particle of mass 10 milligram. So let's consider that is a mass, m is equal to 10 milligram. So convert this data. So 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg, having a charge is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb. So let's consider that is a Q is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb. Stays suspended in a room somewhere here. So what is the magnitude of electric field? First we have to finding out E is equal to what and the direction is equal to what. Okay, so very simple one. Let's consider, suppose it is a room. So this is a water particle having a mass is m and charge is q. So here the force is fixed. One force is always along the downward direction. Which one? mg. If this water particle is as at rest, if it is in equilibrium, it's suspended, see, suspended in room, it means it is in equilibrium, then there is some another force is required in upward direction. So there is only possibility is which one? Fe, electrostatic force. How much it is? So QE. So first electric field must be applied in our upward direction so that this particle is comes in a rest, means this particle is in equilibrium. Okay, so the direction is what? First direction is upward, क्योंकि upward direction में electric force चाहिए. See, mg is must be in a downward direction. So you set the electric field in such a way so that this electrostatic force is produced in upward direction. Okay, for this equilibrium condition, mg is equal to what? Fe. So mg is equal to QE. mg is equal to what? QE. So we have to finding out the electric field. So E is equal to mg upon q. See, all this data are given to you, so you just calculate this answer by yourself. Okay, so that is in homework. All of you guys note this example in your books. Then after we are just go to this next. Okay, note it, and the answer is what? 65.3 Newton per coulomb, and direction is what? Upward. Okay, note it. Let's see example number 2. A rod of length L has having a total charge Q is distributed uniformly along its length. So this type of situation, suppose it is a rod. Okay, this type of rod is given to us. Its length is L and total charge on the rod is what? Q. It's bent into the shape of semicircle. So this rod is bent like this in the form of semicircle, like this in the form of semicircle. Let's consider the radius of this rod is what? Radius of the semicircle is supposed to be r. So find the magnitude of electric field produced at the center of the curvature of the semicircle. So here you just use this type of theory. Consider that is a semicircle. Let's we draw the larger figure. So this is what? Semicircle. Okay, so how much angle is formed at the center? So at the center this total angle is what? Pi. So electric field is suppose is what? At center, consider EC. So use this relation, electric field produced due to the arc of a circle. The semicircle is what? It is a arc of a circle having a length is half of the total circle. Okay, so here we use this equation directly. Electric field produced due to arc of a circle. So what is this equation? So this equation, E is equal to 2k lambda upon r. Let's consider some data. This radius of the semicircle is supposed to be r, and the charge density is what? Lambda. What is charge density? See, L is the length, Q is the charge. So charge density is equal to what? Simple hai, Q upon L. What is the charge density? Q upon L. So the first data are known. Now what is radius? So length of this rod is L and length of this semicircle is what? Pi. This both are must be the same. This both are same because thus suppose it is rod, then rod is bent into the semicircle, then length of semicircle is equal to length of rod. So from this both what we write? L is equal to what? pi r. So r is equal to what? R is equal to L upon pi. So put this all value into this equation. So finally we get the answer. Okay. So electric field E is equal to 2. K means what? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Lambda means what? Q upon L. And R means what? L upon pi. So just simplify this relation, you get the answer. Okay, and your answer is like this: E is equal to Q upon 2 epsilon naught L square. So after simplification you get this answer. So by this way you just use this equation directly, you get the answer. Here we use the concept, which concept? This one, electric field produces the arc of a circle. इस concept का equation क्या है? Electric field E is equal to K lambda upon R. So you get the directly answer. Okay, all of you guys note this example, then after we are go to this next one. Okay, note it. Let's see next one. Consider the uniformly charged ring having a radius is what? 10 centimeter. Find the point on the axis where the electric field is what? Maximum. So here we use the theory, electric field produced at an axial point of a ring. Electric field produced on an axial point of a ring, uniformly charging. Uniformly charging. E is equal to K Qx upon x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. We derive this relation. So if you consider this situation, then we already studied in a previous sessions. So when E is maximum, Ax is equal to what? Plus or minus r by root 2. And what is r here? 10 centimeters. So our answer is what? At plus or minus 10 upon root 2 centimeter, electric field is maximum. At x is equal to this, and electric field is maximum. So you get the final answer. Okay, so by this way you just getting the answer. Simple. You just remember the theory, you get the answer. Directly use the formulas. Okay, in this type of example. So our answer is what? Plus or minus 10 by root 2 centimeter from the center. From the center, and center is considered as a 0 0. So right hand side plus or 10 by root 2, left hand side 10 by root 2. So that is our answer for the maximum electric field. And we draw the graph of this also in the previous sessions. If you consider this is the ring and it is the axis, this one is axis. Here you consider the electric field. Then at center it is 0. Sorry. So that is r by root 2, and similar way this is minus r by root 2. Okay, so by this way you get the answer. Okay, all of you guys note this, then after we are just go to this next one. Okay, note it. Let's see example number 4. A particle of mass m and charge q is thrown with a speed u against the uniform electric field E. Against the electric field E, then how much distance will it travel before coming to momentary rest? So let's consider the situation. Suppose it is uniform electric field. This is the uniform electric field E. Now this one charge particle, let's consider this is the charge particle, that is the direction of electric field is right hand side. So this charge particle is having a charge q, mass is m, is thrown in opposite direction like this. Okay, with the speed what? With the speed u. Then when this charge particle is moving, then its speed is decreases. Its speed is decreases. After some time this charge particle is coming to rest, and again it's come back into this direction. So we have to finding out how much distance. So you consider that is a distance ds, stopping distance. We call it as stopping distance. Then we have to find it. So at this position what is velocity? 0. Initial velocity generally we known as a v naught. V naught and we known as a v naught. What is acceleration due to electric field? Acceleration due to electric field is QE by m. QE by m. So that is the acceleration. And opposite direction, so minus. See, motion is in less. Otherwise you consider that is a acceleration in opposite direction, because if charged particle is moving towards the left, then acceleration is towards the right. Okay, so it's minus q by m. So use the formula, constant accelerating motion x minus x0 is equal to v square minus v0 square upon 2a. So x0 is constant, then x is considered as a ds. So ds is equal to what? V square. So final velocity 0 minus initial velocity u square. So upon u square upon 2. A is equal to what? Minus qe by m. Minus why we are choose the minus sign? Because of opposite direction. So minus minus cancel out. So finally answer is what? U square upon u square, and m is comes in a numerator. So mu square upon 2 into q into e. That is our answer. Okay. Or second method, this is the exactly equation of a stopping distance. So use this equation, stopping distance ds is equal to v naught square upon 2a. This is the standard equation of stopping distance. Okay. So what is v square? Initial speed, u square, and 2. What is a? qe by m. When, as we know, when you use this equation of stopping distance, you are not using the signs. We already use the sign. Okay, so you directly put the value. So distance is equal to what? U square upon 2 into qe by m, and you just simplify this, you get the answer. Okay, so by this way you solve out this type of problem. Okay, all of you guys note this example in your books. Then after we are go to this next one, and your answer is this, mu square upon 2 qe. Okay, let's see. Comes to this example number 5. Example number 5. An infinite large non-conducting plane surface having a charge density sigma has a circular aperture of the certain radius is cut from it. So this type of situation, let's see. Suppose that is a very large sheet like this. That's very large sheet. Okay, and some section is cut from here. So some section is cut. Some circular section is cut from here, like this type of situation. Okay, and radius is unknown. Let's consider this radius is supposed to be r. We don't know what is the radius. Radius is considered capital R. The electric field at a point at a distance x from the center of aperture is found to be sigma upon 2 root 2 epsilon naught. Means this type of situation. See, from center you consider some distance x, and suppose that's point P. So at point P, electric field E is equal to what? Sigma upon 2 root 2 epsilon naught. Okay, so find the radius of aperture. So find r is equal to, that is our case. So actually the situation is very simple. So at point P, net electric field E is equal to E1 minus E2, as we studied in previous sessions. If you have this type of situation, then you just take a subtraction. Means total electric field is the large sheet minus this cutting section. Okay, so what is electric field produced with a large sheet? So this is very well known equation. Let's put this value directly. Okay, so E is equal to sigma upon epsilon 2 epsilon naught, sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, minus this, what is this field produces the circular disc. So that is a sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus x upon under root x square plus r square. As we know, what is net electric field? So this net electric field is equal to sigma upon 2 root 2 epsilon naught. So put this value. So sigma upon 2 root 2 epsilon naught. So from this one you just take a common out if anything is common. First you simplify this, sigma upon 2 epsilon naught minus sigma upon 2 epsilon, minus plus sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into x upon under root x square plus r square. Okay, if anything is cancelled, then cancel it. So sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, cancel, plus and minus. Okay, so what is this final answer? So final answer is sigma upon 2 root 2 epsilon naught 2 root 2 epsilon naught is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught x upon root x square plus r square. So what is this answer? See, if anything is cancelled out, so sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, take a square on both sides, so you get the final answer. So 1 upon 2 is equal to x square upon x square plus r square. Root 2 square कितना हुआ? 2 हुआ. So what is final answer? See, x square plus r square is equal to 2x square. So it means r is equal to x. This is our answer. X square cancel out. So 2x square minus x square, that is x square. So r square is equal to x square. R is equal to what? X. So by this way you get the answer. See, r is equal to x. So very simple situation, and you just using the equations you get the final answer. Okay, all of you guys note this example, then after we are go to this next one. Okay, note it. Let's see example number 6. Sketch the electric field lines for uniformly charged hollow cylinder as shown in figure. Okay, so that is a hollow cylinder. This one is a hollow cylinder. So this field lines are just drawing like this for this one. Positive charge, so away from the cylinder. Okay, so actually this is shown here. This is answer actually. This is one. Now for the upward side hollow cylinder means electric field lines are perpendicular to the surface. Electric field lines are perpendicular to the surface. So here it is perpendicular to surface. Actually this figure is like this. Okay, but that is quite difficult to understand it. Okay, and you just see from the top, then if your figure is like this. So electric field for this type of situation you just drawn in such a way. Okay, all of you guys note this example. Very simple, means you just draw the perpendicular lines. You just draw the perpendicular line to the surface. Perpendicular line to the surface. Okay, here the electric field lines are bent. See, but at the surface it is perpendicular, and you just see the top view. You just see the top view, getting the answer. Okay, all of you guys note this. Let's see next one. Example number 7. Figure shows the electric field lines around the 3-point charges. Around the 3-point charges A, B, C. So this A, B, and C are the point charges. Give the sign of charges. So how we give the sign of charges? So first let's we solve this one. If you consider any charge is positive, if charge is positive, if charge is positive, then electric field lines are come out from this charge. Then electric field lines are comes out from the charge. And if you consider the situation, if charge is negative, then electric field lines are going into the charge. Electric field are going into the charge. There is the two things. Okay, so if you consider the charge A, so charge A, this electric field lines are come out. So this charge A is positive. Okay, now charge B, so from this charge B electric field lines enter into the charge. See, electric field lines are entered into the charge, going into the charge. So B is negative, and for C again electric field is come out. So C is what? Positive. So A is positive, B is negative, and C is positive. First question. Now second question, which charge having the largest magnitude and why? So very simple. See, if you consider this one, if number of electric field lines are more, it means this magnitude of the charge is larger. If number of field lines are less, then this electric fields magnitude of electric field is also lower. So here for which charge electric field lines are having a maximum means which charge having a maximum electric field lines. So see this charge having maximum electric field lines. Okay, here the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and here the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and so on. So C having a maximum electric field lines, it means magnitude of C charge is maximum. Okay, so the answer of the second question, charge C having maximum electric field lines, so its magnitude is maximum. Okay, so answer is what? C, charge C. Now see third one, in the pictures where the electric field is 0, if you consider any system of charge, see, for any system of charge you want the electric field is 0. See, you consider the plus q and here is consider the plus q, then electric field is 0 between the two charge. So at this point electric field is 0. If you consider this minus q, so electric field is 0 between the two charge. But if you consider this plus q1 minus q2, then electric field is 0. Electric field is 0 outside of this two charge, outside of the two charge. Okay, why? Because as per the direction, if you consider that's point 1, point 2, point 1, point 2, point 1 and point 2, then 1, 2, so E1 is equal to 2. For this situation 1, 2, so E1 is equal to 2. And for the third situation, see, plus means outside, so E1 and E2. And when wherever the this electric field is 0, this is the charge magnitude is smaller, as we discussed in our previous sessions. Okay, so use this theory, you getting this answer. So for if two charges are having a same sign, then electric field is 0 between the two charges. So here see, A and C both are positive, so electric field is 0 somewhere between these two charges, means somewhere here. See, if you draw a one line, okay, if you draw a one line, okay, A and C, so electric field is line on the line, on this line, and somewhere near to A, somewhere here, let's consider that point is electric field is what? 0. Why? This A is what? Positive, and C is what? Again positive. So electric field lines is 0 between the two positive charge, somewhere here, wherever this charge is having a smaller magnitude. So out of this, C having a largest magnitude, so A having a small magnitude, so near the A. If you draw the direction, then this is electric field produced by A, and this one is electric field produced by C. So EA is equal to EC, electric field is 0. So here it is not possible. See, if you consider this one, here electric field is not possible to 0. So we choose this situation. Okay, so that is our answer. Here the answer is also given to C. A and C positive, B negative. Charge C having a magnitude maximum, and thus between A and C and near the A, electric field is equal to 0. Okay, so these are our answer. Okay, all of you guys note this example, then after we are go to this next. Okay, note it. Let's see example number 8. Find the electric field at the center of the charged ring, having a linear charge density lambda is equal to lambda 0 cos theta coulomb per meter, where lambda 0 is a constant, and the radius of this ring is supposed to be r. So here the charge density, actually we derive this relation, for this ring, electric field due to the ring, and at the center it is 0, but uniformly charged. Here it is non-uniformly charged, it depends on theta. See, so we just discuss about this case, non-uniformly charged ring. Then how to get this answer? Very simple. See, you consider this ring, this is supposed to be ring, non-uniformly charged ring. Okay, you consider that is a center. Let's see drawing the axis also. So we just take a reference with the x-axis. We are taking reference with the x-axis. Now we just consider a small element on the ring. You consider the small element on the ring, and its angle with the x-axis is what? Theta, and its O1 angle is supposed to be d theta. So its electric field is what? E. So actually small element, so consider D. So there is a two component. If this angle is theta, it means this angle is theta. So there is a two component. One is D sin theta and one is D cos theta. So if you take consider the full ring, then theta starts from 0 and theta is ends at 2 pi. So our limit is what? Theta initial 0 and theta final 2 pi. So you just take, when you take integration of over the ring, because it is extended body, then you take initial is equal to 0 and final is equal to 2 pi. So that is the situation. Okay, first of all, what is DE actually? So electric field due to small element. Okay, so its length is how much? DL is equal to r d theta, angle is equal to arc by radius, angle is equal to arc by radius. So D is equal to k dq upon r square, its radius is capital R, so upon r square. So what is dq? So k upon r square. Dq means what? Lambda into dl. So lambda into dl. So what is this? K upon r square. What is lambda? Lambda is a lambda 0 cos theta. And what is dl? R d theta. R d theta. So 1 r is cancelled out here. So 1 r is cancelled. So what is final answer of D? So D is equal to k lambda 0 upon r into cos theta d theta. Okay, so this is the answer. Now we have a two components. So net field is what actually? You consider this horizontal is DEX and vertical is DEY. So what is EY? So electric field along y axis. So EY is equal to integration d sin theta from 0 to 2 pi. So put this value of d sin theta. So answer is what? Integration 0 to 2 pi k lambda 0 upon r, k lambda 0 upon r, here it is given, okay, into sin theta cos theta, sin theta cos theta d theta. So 0 to 2 pi sin theta into cos theta, you just convert this value. So EY is equal to integration 0, if anything is common out, cancel out it, sorry, if anything is common, cancel common out. So k lambda 0 upon r, you convert this in sin 2 theta. So 0 to 2 pi 2 sin theta into cos theta d theta. So what is answer? Is equal to k lambda 0 upon 2r integration 0 to 2 pi sin 2 theta d theta. And we know over this full cycle, so average of sin theta is 0. So thus EY is equal to what? 0. Means net electric field at the center due to the sine component is what? 0. Now we think about the cos component. Okay, so let's we have to finding out the electric field due to this x element. And what is D? D is equal to k lambda 0 upon r into cos theta d theta. So electric field at center, along x direction. So integration Ex is equal to integration d cos theta. Put the value. So k lambda 0 upon r integration cos theta into d theta 0 to 2 pi. Means put the value of d. D is equal to k lambda 0 upon r cos theta d theta. Okay, so answer is what? Cos square theta d theta. This cos theta into cos theta what? Cos square theta. So Ex is equal to k lambda 0 upon r integration cos square theta d theta 0 to 2 pi. So what is cos square theta? What is actually here cos square theta? Use the trigonometry. 1 plus cos 2 theta upon 2. That is the equation, use trigonometry. So Ex is equal to k lambda 0 upon r 1 by 2 integration 0 to 2 pi 1 by 2 plus cos 2 theta upon 2 into d theta. Take us common out something. If k lambda 0 upon r 1 by 2 integration of 1 is what? Theta 0 to 2 pi plus means I am just taking a separate. Okay, so k lambda 0 upon r integration cos 2 theta d theta upon 2 0 to 2 pi. Okay, and as we know, integration of cos theta is again 0. Sin theta or cos theta over the one cycle, answer is always 0. Over the one cycle, answer is always 0. Why? Because you consider the sine graph, then graph is like this, that is a sine graph, and cos graph, then graph is like this. So positive negative cancel out, positive negative, positive negative, positive. So over a one cycle, average of sine and cos is 0. So only this one. So what is answer? K lambda upon 2r into 2 pi into 2 pi. So 2 cancel out here, 2 and 2 cancel out. So what is answer? E is equal to k lambda 0 upon k lambda 0 pi, k lambda 0 pi upon r. So this is our answer, k lambda 0 pi upon r. Okay, all of you guys note this example. If you want the answer in terms of epsilon naught, then put the k is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Put the k is equal to what? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. You get the final answer. Even let's I am just trying to solve out this, so your idea will be clear. So you trust E is equal to k is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into lambda 0 pi upon r. Okay, so you just give some simplification, you get the answer. So by this way we just getting this answer. All of you guys note this example, and finally after calculation, that is our answer. E is equal to lambda 0 upon 4 epsilon naught r. Okay, note this example in your books properly, then after we are go to this next. Okay, note it.